Well, it's that time of the year again. Although the start of the college football season is still 3 months away, it's never too early to get those hot takes in. Last week, I asked you guys to give me your boldest predictions for the 2025 college football season, and every week leading up until kickoff, I'll be reading your hot takes and giving my thoughts on them. But before we get to your hot takes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe. It's one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. Also, if you would like one of your hot takes to be featured in a future video, please try and make it a truly spicy one that is worthy of being in a video. There were a lot of comments saying Ohio State will win the national championship, or Alabama will win the SEC. Those aren't hot takes, so make sure it's clever and unique so it's something I can talk about and feature in an upcoming video. Kicking things off this week, UNLV makes the playoffs as the 12th seed. Now, I'm not certain how hot of a take this is because UNLV, they were actually insanely close to making the playoffs last year as a 12th seed. I'm not sure how many people out there were following all that closely, but UNLV took on Boise State in the Mountain West title game, and had the Rebels won that game, they would have been the 12th and final team that would have made it into the college football playoff. Now, obviously they didn't. Boise State won that game and they went to the playoff, but UNLV, who was really close last season, I mean, they won 11 games last year and were one of the more underrated teams in all of college football. Are they going to replicate last season in 2025? I'm not certain. It's really hard to win 11 games, but with Dan Mullen as the new head coach, I'm really interested to see how this UNLV team looks and to see if they can make another playoff push. USC is in the Big Ten championship game. USC, they did me dirty last year because all offseason I was talking about how I was really down on the Trojans. I didn't think they'd be a good team. Personally, I didn't think they'd be a bowl caliber team, but I stuck by that, and there were a lot of comments in those videos saying I was really wrong, I was crazy, I didn't know what I was talking about, but I was standing on that ground that USC wouldn't be good in 2024. Well, if you guys remember, to kick off the 2024 season, USC took down a top 15 team in LSU, and after starting the season 2-0, they were ranked number 11 in the country, and my bold prediction for the 2024 season was looking really bad. Like, I even had to post a video saying I was wrong on USC, they're not going to be that bad, they're going to be a good team in 2024. Well, after that, USC really sucked the rest of the way. They finished the season going 7-6. They did win their bowl game against Texas A&M, so at least they finished their season on a high note, but I think it's going to be another rough season for the Trojans. I think 7 to 8 wins, that's probably where they're going to finish. It could be worse, it could be better, but I just don't think USC is going to be making it to the Big Ten championship game. If the Trojans are playing in that conference championship game, that means two things. Either everyone, and I mean everyone in the college football world, was way off about this USC team, or the Big Ten is going to be absolute crap in 2025. I mean, there's a chance that you have a bunch of teams that really struggle, and that's why USC is able to make it in, potentially with 9 wins or maybe even 8 wins, because the rest of the conference just sucks that much. Arizona bounces back and goes 7-5 or 8-4 with some really good offensive talent from the portal coming in, and Noah Fafita being back at quarterback. Year 2 for Brent Brennan should be a lot better. The roster is there. Now, the ironic thing is, despite being an Arizona State alum and hating the Arizona Wildcats, I was insanely high on them last year entering the season. I thought with Noah Fafita, Ted McMillan, that would be a really good offense and they would make some noise in the Big 12. Now, it made a lot of sense because in 2023, the Wildcats won 10 games and it looks like they were going to be even better the following year. But yeah, I was wrong on that one. Arizona was flat out terrible in 2024. They finished the season winning only 4 games. Now, that was the first season for Brent Brennan, but with Noah Fafita and Ted McMillan, I just don't know how they were that bad. Now, I will say Arizona has had a nice offseason. I do think they are going to be better in 2025, but going from a 4-win team to an 8-win team, especially in a really good Big 12 conference, I don't think Arizona is going to bounce back that much. I definitely think, though, they can bounce back with a 6-win season and at least go bowling. Carson Beck takes Miami to the Final Four of the College Football Championship and is a finalist for the Heisman. Now, if you guys remember last year, when I had my way too early Heisman top 10, I actually had Carson Beck as my Heisman pick. Now, he still had a really good season for Georgia. He put up some really good numbers, but he definitely wasn't in the Heisman discussion. He transfers to Miami, where we just saw Cam Ward have a Heisman caliber season and go number 1 in the NFL draft. Also, had Miami just beaten Syracuse in the final week of the season, Miami is playoff bound, and who knows what happens in the playoffs. There's a chance Miami could have somehow gotten to the semifinal just last year. I definitely think it's possible that Carson Beck can lead Miami to the playoff and even the semifinals, and I do think it's possible that he could be a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Dylan Raiola goes to New York and is a Heisman finalist this season. Yep, there was a lot of hype surrounding Dylan Raiola and Nebraska last year, and to say it was a disappointing season, well, that's an understatement. In 13 games, Raiola threw for 2,800 yards with only 13 passing touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Nebraska started the season 3-0, and they had a pretty big victory over Colorado in the second week of the season, and it looks like Nebraska, they would be a team that should be getting a lot of discussion in the Big Ten. But the rest of their season was brutal because after starting 3-0, they went 4-6 to close out the year. And Dylan Raiola, well, he didn't really have a great game the rest of the way. His best game of the season came in an overtime loss to Illinois, where he threw for 300 yards and had 3 passing touchdowns. But if you take that game out of the equation, he only had 2 other games where he threw at least 2 passing touchdowns. He also had only 1 other game where he threw for more than 260 passing yards. The talent is definitely there, but if he's going to be a Heisman finalist at the end of the year, not only are his numbers going to have to look insanely better, Nebraska is also probably going to have to be a team right on the playoff bubble, because the Cornhuskers going 7-6, that's not going to earn him an invite to New York. Tennessee goes 5-7, with them being unable to find a solid starting quarterback. One of their only wins will be a massive win versus Georgia, but at the end of the season, the program will be in shambles, and they will become the 3rd worst SEC team behind Arkansas and Vanderbilt. Now, hot takes like these are my personal favorites because they don't just have one. They have numerous different hot takes throughout, and they have very solid reasoning. So again, if you want to be featured in a future video, have hot takes like this because this is perfect. While I do like the boldness, I don't think Tennessee is going to be this bad, and the reason is, I know their quarterback room is a little bit shaky. They did bring in Joey Aguilar. There's a reality. There's a world where Joey Aguilar is better than what Nico Iamaleava was giving them last season. There's a chance the offense could look even better than it did last year. Now, is Tennessee going to be a playoff team once again? I'm not quite certain, but I definitely think they're going to be in the discussion in the SEC and in the playoff discussion as well. Speaking of being really bad in the SEC, Auburn will be a bottom 3 team in the SEC. Mike Gundy bounces back and Oklahoma State finishes as a top 3 team in the Big 12 out of nowhere. Yeah, this is another one where I'm just not going to buy Auburn being that bad of a team. I don't think they're going to be as good as Tennessee, where they're knocking on a potential playoff spot, but I think Auburn, I think they can make some noise in the SEC. I think they can have a couple of upsets. I think there are a number of other teams in that conference that are definitely worse than Auburn. Now, in regards to Oklahoma State, it seems really difficult to be any worse than they were last year. I mean, they were terrible. They were one of the worst teams in the Power 4. They finished the season going 3-9, and that's after they began the season 3-0. I mean, Oklahoma State was ranked number 13 in all of college football, and they then proceeded to lose their final 9 games of the season. I don't know what the hell happened with Oklahoma State, but I definitely don't think they're going to have another bad year like this. I definitely think they're going to turn things around. Are they going to be a top 3 team in the Big 12? I don't think that's going to happen. I just can't see them being a top 3 team in that conference because, like I mentioned earlier, this is a really deep conference with a lot of good teams. But hey, Mike Gundy, stranger things have happened. He has pulled some miracles out of his ass in previous years, so maybe he's able to do it. Maybe he's able to turn things around and have this team as an actual Big 12 contender. Tennessee or Alabama will not be ranked by the end of the season. Texas will still throw fits to get calls going their way. There will be at least 2 games where we say Texas got bailed out by bad calls. Not a hot take, more of a guarantee to everyone but Texas fans. So we have another person that's really down on Tennessee. So Tennessee or Alabama not being ranked by the end of the season. These are 2 things that I definitely could see happening. I don't think they will. But nowadays, to be not ranked by the end of the year, I mean, you could probably still be 8-4 or so, and you could be ranked outside the top 25. I think this next one, though, is my personal favorite of the entire video, saying that Texas is going to throw fits, and there's going to be 2 games where Texas gets bailed out by bad calls. That's definitely going to happen. I don't know what game it's going to happen exactly, maybe week 1 against Ohio State, but there are definitely going to be moments where every college football fan is pissed, and Texas fans are going to be thinking, why are you guys complaining about us? Alright, we're going to wrap up today's video with this final hot take. Jeremiah Smith isn't a top 10 player in the country and is massively overrated. Against Texas, he only puts up 3 yards, which is the best secondary he's ever played. Now, personally, I don't think Jeremiah Smith is overrated. I think he's arguably the first or second best wide receiver in all of college football. Now, you can make the case he's not a top 10 player in the country. You could say there are other players that are worthy of being inside the top 10, but he's a top 2 wide receiver in the entire country. And when he takes on Texas, unless he injures himself on the very first play, I think I can guarantee you Jeffrey MFFL, he is not going to finish the game with 3 yards. He's going to finish the game with a whole lot more yards. Well, that wraps it up for today's video. Do you have a hot take and a bold prediction for the 2025 college football season? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments down below, and it could be featured in my next video. Like I mentioned earlier, make sure it's a very fun and unique one. I don't want any boring hot takes. I want some juicy ones that'll really make me think in a future video. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day leading up to the start of the college football season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm, and it helps share this video and my channel with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.